often when I leave in the wee hours of the morning, I leave 2 of those at home, and they're looking at me like, it's dark, and what are you doing this hour in the morning? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, I'm so happy to see all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want you to take a massive deep breath, please. Whew. I want you to open up that space within you that you're listening. The space that Jacqueline was just saying to us, that you are listening, that you're present and available to listen. And I'm not just talking about what's coming from me, I'm talking about what's coming through you, that you're willing to listen to the spiritual wisdom that is always downloading through you. Every second, every moment, every breath, it is always downloading through you. How amazing is that? There's never a pause where Spirit goes, yeah, I think I'm just going to let you be for a while. That's how you do that. Now we do that. We come in and say, oh no, I got this. And then Spirit goes, okay, you got it. And you say, that's where this is going. But we have the opportunity to listen over and over again, which is why meditation is so brilliant, because we hold still to listen. So when you're in here this morning, I just want to open that door to let's all be big learners today and listen to one another as we listen to Spirit, because there's no configuration like this. It will happen again. So let's listen. Let's pay attention to the presence in the present moment, because that presence always wants us to just present within us. It is school time. I went back to school this week. Anyway. Yay! I love that. Good. It's school time. And it's so good to know that. That was perfect timing. That was good. It's always good to remember that in school, just because this is a representative time of like, oh, our kids go back to school, go back to college, she's all in school. We get to remember something. There's this opportunity that it's not just school in school, that you are moving, breathing, walking through this eternal classroom. That where you are is an eternal classroom, and we have the opportunity to stay awake to that eternal classroom working within us every second. I know that I'm hearing music at the same time. I'm not? Oh. Was I not listening correctly? That was good. So I want to read something to you about our eternal listening and our learning. He says, always make learning greater than your experience. This is from the Laws of Lifetime Growth. I'm collecting new books. And it's really fun when they show up. When you lose all your books and the new one starts, it's like, oh, this is a good one. All right, he says, continual learning is essential for lifetime growth. You can have a great deal of experience and be no smarter for all the things you've done, seen, and heard. Experience alone is no guarantee of lifetime growth. But if you regularly transform your experiences into new lessons, you will make each day of your life a source of growth. The smartest people are those who can transform even the smallest events or situations into breakthroughs in thinking and action. Look at all of life as a school and every experience as a lesson, and your learning will always be greater than your experience. Your learning will always be greater. I'm committed to being a lifetime learner. I'm committed. I find it very interesting that in July, when I couldn't be here with you, I was with Reverend Michael in Costa Rica, and the first week I was with him, I'm a backup singer, but I don't say a word. I'm just kind of, okay, I'm here to pray and back him up. Now then the second, so I'm a student, and I take massive notes. And I giggle every time to think I've been with this man for most of my life, and I still take massive notes. Because there's always new growth, new life. He's different, we're all different. So whatever's coming through at any moment is different than it was the last time. So as I'm taking my notes and being the student and learning and listening and catching from him, from each other, from everyone in the room, for everyone that shared, then the very next week that I stay, then I step into being the guest speaker, then I'm the teacher for that week. I'm still the student. Don't get me wrong, I'm still the student. But to be in the place that one minute we get to be the one that may be speaking, and the next moment we're catching it, and can those two dance in the same field of awareness always? This last few weeks, we had the beautiful class. Thank you, Patricia. It was so beautiful to just work that book of Ernest Holmes, to just be in it. Who all was in that class? Please show me by hand. Yes, it was so good. And there was many more. We got to be with people all over the world. There was sometimes we zoomed in like, hey, I'm in Hong Kong, and this one's in in Vancouver, and this one's in Florida, and we're right here. It was so much fun. So much fun. And to seep through and study together and learn and grow and be eternal learners and learn from someone else across the world through a Zoom and be intimate in that environment was smashing. Hi there. And then the very next day, so class finished on a Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I started a program where I got to be a student again. And soak it up, and soak it up, and soak it up. And then next week, I get to go be a student with Reverend Michael again. When we look at where do I always get to keep growing, stretching, it does not stop. From this moment on, from the second we took our first breath, it never stops. So where's your willingness to be open and available to keep growing in all situations? Not just the pretty ones. Not just the ones where we show up in the classroom and think, oh yeah, I signed up for this. I signed up for this class. Not those. I'm not talking about those. Those are the really fun classes, right? I'm talking about the ones that you stand there and look and go, I never signed up for this. This is not in my curriculum, and it's right in front of me right now. I'm talking about those classes. Because those are the classes that come when we're not quite paying attention or don't see them coming, and when they come to us, right there, you have an opportunity to just be present to, I gotta grow right now. I have a wonderful, wonderful client who I've had for many years, and she has this precious daughter. You may have heard me talk about her before, and I think my client's been with me for 12 years. And so her daughter's now 14. So as she has her sessions every week, and she's on the other side of the United States, her daughter over the years one time looked at her and said, Mommy, why are you talking to Kim about all the time? And my client looked at her and said, she's helping me become a better mommy, which was like such an honor. And think, oh, I love that you said that. So soon, her daughter was in 3rd grade and says, can I talk to her, please? You'll say no to a 3rd grader, right? And says, excuse me, I would like to talk to her, please. So she gets on the phone, now she's been raised with these tools, she's been raised with spiritual wisdom. She gets on the phone and says to me, I've got a problem. And I said, what's that? She said, I'm going to school and I'm bumping into, we got music again. It's a puppet music day. And she said, I'm going to school and I'm coming to lunch and there's some girls that aren't very nice to me. I have no friends. And I said, oh, Cameron, so talk to me. What do you want to create at school? And she goes, I want new friends, and I want to feel safe at the lunch table, and I want to go to school. And I'm like, okay, great, so let's write your intention. 3rd grade, she writes an intention. And I'm working it with her. She goes, my intention is to walk into school, be happy, and make new friends at the lunch table. Perfect intention. She comes back to the call the next week. She gets on the phone and goes, Cameron, how you doing? And she says to me, it worked! I have 4 new friends! I'm at a new table, everything's great! So guess what happened this week? She started high school. 9th grade. Would you like to hear what I get on the first day of school? This is brilliant. This is an eternal learner. This is my point, so bringing this up. 14 years old. You ready? She said, I just want you to know what my intention is as I start 9th grade. My intention is to stay calm and centered as I move through the day, knowing I have all the tools I need for success. Wow. 14. Her second one. My intention is to remain flexible, outgoing, and social she got that in 3rd grade. As I navigate new experiences in high school, knowing that all is happening for my highest good. This young one, amazing, right? This young one has been absolutely exceeding in school, exceeding in relationships, having conversations that weren't always easy, but is growing because she's an eternal learner, like each and every one of us. And as she continues to look at whatever's in front of her, she was a nervous little Nilly the week before. She told her mom, I'm scared to go. And her mom said, then you know what to do. Kim's going to ask me, did you write your intentions? She goes, I'll write that intention. And she goes, and this is what I get text. That's brilliant news. Do you want to hear her mom's? Yeah. This is what her mom, because her mom says, wait a second, she doesn't get to send you her intention, and me not send you mine. Okay, what's hers? She says, my intention is to stand powerfully centered in love and self-care. That's a wise mom, in self-care. As I offer unwavering support and assistance for Cameron's highest good in 9th grade. Could you imagine what's happening in this household? There's some really good conversations going on. So when we have the opportunity, and each and every one of us in here do, have the opportunity remember, we bring our wisdom to every learning situation. We bring the spiritual, just an awakened heart into every one of those opportunities where a classroom comes to us that we didn't ask for it. We didn't ask for that, but that is our curriculum. Whatever comes to you is your curriculum to work through. So please hear me on that. Whatever comes to you, even the ones that you wish they hadn't come to you. Even those, it's our curriculum is right in front of us to go, I got to rise up and move through this.
Yes.
And to move through this, I must build my muscle. I must keep remembering what is, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm learning. You are growing from every breath till the end of time, till we transition onward. We are growing by choice. So I want you to keep remembering you have a choice this day to look at the curriculum of your life and see what is in here where I must grow. What must grow in me? There has to be some patience. There has to be some strength. What is my tools? What are the tools that I'm using in the midst of this curriculum? Because every individual's curriculum in this room is different than the one next to you.
Right.
You've got a different curriculum, but we all have a curriculum for our souls that our souls are asking us to grow through. Now let's talk about growing pains. We can embrace growing pains. There's a few hands there. That's good. To embrace your souls. Growing pains are not comfortable. Are we correct with that?
Correct.
Whew. When we're in the midst of a growing pain, we've got to really take some deep breaths.
Yes.
Like the number one tool, you better breathe through it. You get to breathe yourself right through it. Growing pains come to you to show you what must be stretched for you to be in the midst of your personal curriculum and move through it in a masterful way. In a masterful way. So the growing pains just are our signposts to say, psst, 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 listen over here. Then what happens over here? Psst, psst, listen over here. We have a growing pain in our body and we think, oh no, I just have a pain. It's a growing pain telling us something. Listen. Our listening. I loved your song, thank you so much, is our listening. Are we listening now to what is being spoken to us, through us, for us to amplify our curriculum so that we become masterful in it? Are we listening to that level? Because that's when we're teachable. When we are teachable, we must be masterful at listening. So I want you to think for a moment, in my life, each of you, in my life right now, am I teachable? Am I creating a space to listen so much so that I'm catching something bigger than I didn't know before because I want to listen? And if there's chatter going on in your mind, then that's not the part of listening to the person who's in front of you. When we are of service to the being in front of us, that's what we're listening to. We're listening to them. We're catching the elements of them that are absolutely gifts to land on your heart, but you need to be of service to the one before you because that's your curriculum in that moment. Are you willing to risk your life to have it so big that you take on your curriculum and say, yes, I'm going to take on this chapter. Yes. I'm going to take on this chapter.
Yes.
And I'm going to take on the next, whatever it is.
Yes.
To still say yes. Because every yes is an opportunity to remember, oh, wow, I did sign up for this. I just forgot. And in our forgetfulness, we can be so gentle with ourselves to just be kind, to know, wow, part of my curriculum is mastering self-kindness and self-love. Mastering self-kindness and self-love. I have this vision and prayer that someday we're going to walk into schools and there's going to be a principal standing there and saying, this is the room that we are teaching of self-love. And this is the room that we are teaching of compassion. And down to the left is the one where we're teaching about world religions and spiritualities and honoring all humans across the earth. And then if you go down to the street over there, it's all about embracing one another. Those are the classrooms I want to come into. Yes? Each of us that takes a stand to know I'm going to live in self-love right now, even when it's hard. Even when it's hard. Even when the judgment's going in my head that's absolutely so heavy that I can't figure out how to even love myself through it because I'm so mad at myself at something I did yesterday. How many of you have done that lately? I just did that yesterday and I did it so big. I did it so big and I had so much fun when I caught it at the other end, like I thought for an hour. I caught myself for a whole hour. I'm watching something and I'm watching this and think, oh, they said that because of me. That was, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. That was so ridiculous. It's going on and all of a sudden, But within, it was like 55 minutes. I looked at the same person across the room, was the assistant of the teacher, and I thought, wow, I'm so grateful to her. Because her willingness to say what she said that wasn't even about me or for me allowed me to catch my pattern and grow and love myself enough now to walk up to her afterwards and say, I gotta just thank you for something. And she goes, what? I go, for that announcement you made, because I think she was, Kim, that we were talking about somebody else. Did you think of somebody you were talking about? It had nothing to do with you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so hysterical. I'm still doing this. Even with my practice. So in that moment was massive self-love to know, that's okay. It's okay. You caught it in an hour instead of 2 days.
Right.
You know, so that we can curb where is the self-love in each moment to know, wow, I just saw myself do something that I don't do anymore, and I forgot I don't do it anymore, and I just repeated it, so now I let it go again. You can do that over and over and over. And then as you do it again, just laugh and go, woo, I thought I let go of that one. I can't believe I said it. Take a breath, and you start again. But if you pick it up and take it with you with the bag, like, okay, I do this, and I do this too. Let me just drag the luggage over here to tell you all the stuff I've been doing for so long. It makes me the person I am that isn't very nice. Then you're in trouble. Then you're not learning. So our growth is about letting go of the baggage. Just let it go, let it go, let it go. Come right into this moment. Remember, if I am taking an act of self-love today, if I am choosing to grow in my curriculum, my individual beautiful curriculum that may have a challenging relationship or a challenging job or a growth situation I have to do with health, whatever it is, if I'm to love myself through it right now, what can I give myself? What is the gift I could give myself so I can grow through this and not judge myself through it? Because the judgment gets the bags heavier. You start carrying around judgment in those bags and you start moving slower. Because it gets heavier. So you find the pathways, please, to know what's my let go today. Is it my exhale and when I'm in meditation? Is it my hug when I hug you to remind me, to remind myself that I got to let go? So I'm holding you to remind me who I am. That's what we have with each other. This beautiful center is growing. We're all growing together, and in that we have each other to remember again and again and again, hold me until I remember who I am. Just hold me. And we can do that whether it's on Zoom, whether it's across the miles. Maybe I haven't seen you for 2 months unless you're in class with me, but I see you now. It doesn't mean I wasn't holding you for the last 2 months. We have that opportunity to just remember again that our curriculum, our classroom, our unique classroom that's right here, everywhere present, is our place to take a breath, trust spiritual wisdom that is always unlimited, always holding us, and remember again in that moment, what is the act of self-love and love for others that I can be, participate in now? That's your classroom. Every day. That's the internal student within you that is saying, I'm absolutely moving and growing now with what's in front of me. Not running away from it. Just ground your energy and know, this may come in front of me. Did anyone hear my talk with Agape last month? There's a point in it, thank you. That's why I missed you last month. I'm so sorry, all of you. Something happens whenever Michael calls and says, so Kimberly, you're speaking on the 11th. And I might have like, well, that's a Sunday. Yeah, I know. You're going to cover I'm covering both sermons that Sunday, and I've been inside like, woohoo! I'm growing. This is perfect. This is answered prayer. And then I hear the next thought, though, and authentic integrity is like, oh, Rev, I'm supposed to be soul center that Sunday. That's my. And he goes, well, can you talk to them? I think they'll understand. Let me talk to them and see. So, wait, come back. What I was starting to say, I asked you if you've been there. Oh, thank you. So you have to check in. This is just remind me, is that in that moment, I was speaking about our growing edge, and I was speaking about in the midst of it, and I said, when those issues come before you, whatever they are, and Rev says this beautifully, when they rise up in front of you, and they look massive and big, I want you to look at them and imagine them looking back at you, and know that they are shaking in their boots because they're looking at powerful, magnificent you. Every situation is looking at you awake, tuned in, tapped up, alive, open, available with the unlimited power of God, and know that this, whatever is before you, will crumble. Because you're looking at it as, this is my curriculum. And I'm going to look at my curriculum, open my book, walk into the room of the classroom of self-kindness, walk into courage, drop my bags of judgment, and take you on. Because it will shape and move because it's looking at you. Are you catching this?
Yes.
This is the joy of our eternal growth and expansion. So from this moment onward, I want every single one of you to know, as you leave today, you're leaving as an eternal, ever-evolving, growing student of life. This wonderful life that we come into is strictly for us to grow and expand and know ourselves more fully, to know God more fully as we bump into each other. And that is our beautiful lesson, and who would want any other? So when it shows up and you think, I didn't ask for this one, remember in the midst of that, but it's before me. And whatever is before me is mine to do. Whatever that is. In whatever way you are moving through it. And know you are held in the midst of it. Because those that are too hard and look like they're too big, I'm asking that you lean into your community, to your practitioners, to your ministers, to each other, and remember to ask, hold me as I'm moving through this. Because none of us have to go through our curriculum alone. None of us. We have our spiritual truth within us, and we have each other, which is why we come together to look at each other and say, who, please remind me who I am. Just remind me when I forget. And then have a really good laugh when you think that I just did that yesterday. And was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, are you kidding me? And then I got to drop my own self-judgment and remember, oh, I'm growing. Thank you, God. I'm growing. That's a good thing to be grateful for every day. So those things that come before you, instead of us wishing they were gone, take them on with the strength of the Almighty presence to know it's here for purpose of growth. Just that. And within you, you have everything to absolutely allow it to simply shift and transform before your very eyes. Yes? Yes. Take a breath, my eternal learners. And just say out loud, I'm open and willing to grow.
I am open and willing to grow.
I have all I need with my curriculum in life.
I have all I need with my curriculum in life.
And I say yes to the spiritual wisdom within me.
And I say yes to the spiritual wisdom within me.
To shine through me as I grow right here and right now.
To shine through me as I grow right here, right now.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
Yes, let me pray for us all, please. Now move into prayer. We have this beautiful musical uplift here all day long. Woo, woo. Thank you. Let me please take us to prayer, everyone. Hold within you right now. I'm just asking that as I'm saying these words, the Spirit's saying these words, that you allow your heart to stay open to what is the place where love shines through me. That your love shines so brightly this day. The gentleness leads the way. That the divine presence that is presencing us, that is within us each and every breath, each and every moment, is rising up and moving through this moment perfectly. And I'm so grateful, that all that is occurring in life right now is for us to grow and stretch as the eternal learners, where we have all we need. Our tool bags are full, and we remember this day in the presence of one another of what we have to grab, which tool, the word prayer, meditation, visioning, leaning in, and absolutely standing in intention to claim the truth in the midst of whatever is before us, and to allow Spirit to guide our way. I'm grateful knowing that everyone in this room and beyond, that there are answers, solutions that are already present. They have already presented themselves, and we say yes to them today. That wherever there is a challenge for anyone, I'm accepting right here and now that the divine answers rise up through them as their eternal learning edge is just expanding. And they say yes. Thank you, Spirit, thank you. I bless this beautiful soul center. I bless that its growth and expansion continues. I bless us all as we come through the doors to connect. And I know that life evolves with us, within each and every one of us. And as we continue to stretch in our kindness for ourselves, we bless each other in the room. So we bless Soul Center. We bless Reverend Keith. We bless where our hearts touch one another without a word. We bless our lives and accepts the goodness for the ones sitting on each side of us, in front of us, behind us, those that absolutely expand beyond the walls out into the world. We bless those learners everywhere across the world and accept that life is good, magnificent, and all needs are met with a curriculum in hand. Grateful God, grateful God, grateful God. I let go of this word, for there's no need for me to hold it, for I am so trusting spirit that my let go is pure. I just trust. Love is present. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. 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 Thank you all so much. Thank you. Oh, yes. Goodness, if you didn't remind me, what would I do at times? I just have the ushers coming forward. I get lost in prayer. Woo! This is that wonderful, beautiful time when we get to practice the law of circulation. We get to stand in the curriculum of abundance and know that we are absolutely tithing, gifting this beautiful center in all ways. So as you reach in and just gift from the heart, I bless your tithes, your hearts, your giving nature, and the receiving of all of it. And it is divine and holy, and to be blessed.